Do you want to help me film my video? Yeah, these are all the colouring books I did last month. Hello! My name is Amy, this is Amy in Progress, and today I'm going to be showing you my January 2026 completed pages. So I'll be showing my pages in chronological order, starting actually with the page that I did back in December, and only gave you a quick sneak peek of, and that is not that one. Where is it? So I did this page back in December. This is my red-tailed golden arowana, and I did this with an Inktense background and a combination of acrylics and pencil for the actual fish. I did do a short snapshot video of this one, just showing how I actually did the scales, and I'm quite pleased with this. And now that the Animal Adventures group project is completed, I'm able to show it. So yeah, I'm quite proud of this one. And then, because I actually signed up to do 2 pages in this book, the other page I initially, I believe I've shown this before, I initially started on this, and this doesn't look good. It's got like ripped page and all sorts because I had a mishap with masking fluid. So I ended up redoing this page in Island Escape, and I will show you a side-by-side comparison. So this is the final version. So yeah, this is a side-by-side comparison. Hopefully it's picking up on the camera fine. So basically, despite this page being ruined because of the all the tearing, I decided to still go ahead and basically just plan my page on it. So I figured out what colours I was going to be using. Obviously I did it very sloppily because I wasn't overly concerned about it looking good as a final piece. But yeah, then at the beginning of January I decided to go into my Island Escape book, get the equivalent page, and start actually working on it. So this was done using a combination of ink pads on the background, polychromos pencil and acrylic on the background. These were originally done in pencil, but then I went over them in acrylic, so they are pretty much just acrylic now. The bird, again, I did originally do it in pencil, but then I went over it again in acrylic. So it is mostly acrylic, although I do think I might have done a bit of pencil on the top afterwards, just to well, we can get rid of this one now because we don't need to see it anymore. So I don't know how well the camera's picking up the details because it's overhead, so I can't actually see what's being filmed. But yeah, despite this being a black bird, I tried to have some colour underneath it to kind of bring it to life a bit more. Obviously this is nice and colourful. This is supposed to be like a reflective part of the bird of paradise. It's called a Carola's Parotia. It's a type of bird of paradise. I don't know, you might have seen it. The one that like lift up this massive thrill, like they're holding a fan or something. They're quite funny to look at. But yeah, this is what they look like when they're not doing a mating display. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with how this one turned out. It's just a shame that I ruined the first version in the Animal Adventures book, because this is supposed to be for the Animal Adventures project. But yeah, and Oh, I was going to do this in chronological order, so I will put these to the side for now because we are moving on to... So this is Colouring the Year by Sugar Sweet, and I bought this specifically because I wanted to be part of a group buddy colour that is hosted by Andy at Just Colouring Things, I think. I will correct that post filming if I'm wrong. I know there's actually more than one group doing this as a full book colour along project thing, but I am in the one that is hosted by Andy, and sorry, wrong page. Haven't done the title page, oops. And I haven't really put a lot of effort into doing these because I really don't like the paper. I don't like the I mean, the pictures themselves are nice, but I don't like the ambiguity of a lot of the line work. I found it quite frustrating to deal with, but I'm still using it as an opportunity to just kind of play around and have fun. So the January pages, of which there are 3, we've got January 2nd, which is National Sci-Fi Day. This was done with alcohol markers and then pencil over the top and then acrylic. This January 7th is National Tempura Day. And apparently these square bits are actually supposed to be wasabi. I had no idea. I didn't know what any of it looked like. So I just coloured all of it as if it was battered or breaded. They look more like breadcrumbs, don't they? Yeah. So this is from January 2nd. And so I did this on January 1st. And this is from January 7th. So I did it on January 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like a Godzilla for Sci-Fi Day.
Yeah.
And this is... Yeah, this is like breaded shrimp. Now this one... Yeah, this one's January 9th, Popcorn Day, but I didn't do this until the very end of the month because I skipped it. So the next one I actually did was this. Yeah, this is January 10th, National Houseplant Day. And again, I used a combination of alcohol markers, acrylics, and a bit of pencil. Oh no, that's February pages. We're not supposed to look at those yet. So yeah, that's Colouring the Year by Sugar Sweet, of which I did the January pages. And then the next one we did, we're going all the way over to a different book now. Yeah. So the next page we did was in Best of Pop Manga by Camilla de Orge. Yeah. And it was this page. And also a bunch of this page because we like making mess, don't we? Yeah. So this page was done as part of Piggy Pens and Holly Berry Colours. Lights versus Dark. Yeah, we did go through it a bit, didn't we? So there's some purple on here and some pink and purple on there. Can I show you the page, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So as you can clearly see, I chose the dark side. And for January, the prompt was Angels versus Demons. So this is a demon. I think she's actually a succubus, which is a type of demon. And then all of these ones are just little generic demons. Yeah. And then if we do this, you can see there's a little bit of shine on the page. Oh, shiny.
Oh,
so
shiny.
This was an Inktense background. Yeah. And then we had polychromos pencils. And I think maybe also some watercolour pencils, Albajoras. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. The outline was done with neon Tulia paint pens. And there was also a slight mishap with the nose because I think I used too much water. I used too much water and it rubbed her nose off. Yes, and I had to draw the nose back on. So there was a bit of a mishap, but that's fine. So that was I do have another page in here, but I did that in February. So we're showing that at another time. So then next up, we've got Rita Burman's Hidden Earth. Wow, I say Hidden Earth, but this is actually the original German version, which is The World Under the Lens on land. And this was a buddy colour with Colleen at Colleen's Crafty Corner. And we decided to do the flamingo page. Yeah, it's very bright, isn't it? Wow. That's the flamingo. Can you say flamingo? Yeah, flamingo. So this was done with an Albert Dürer watercolour pencil background. Yeah. And then the flamingo was also done with Albert Dürer's. And this background was also done with Albert Dürer's. But then all of the detailing was done with acrylic paint pens. I also attempted to freehand the circle, which is why it looks slightly like an egg. And the more discerning among you might notice that the ocean is on a bit of a slope because apparently I'm a bit skew-whiff. It's quite colourful though, isn't it? Overall, I'm quite pleased with this page, and I will show you what my buddy did, which was very different to what I did. She went for a nice, light, airy, breezy palette with nice springtime vibes, whereas mine's very kind of tropical sunset. Right, so that was The World Under the Lens on Land by Rita Burman. Yeah. And next up we have, let me just put this one away. I'm probably going to have to refilm all this later, but I'm going to try and do it with you on my lap. So then next up we have Lulu Mayo's A Million Hugs and Kisses. You done? You've had enough? You bored of Mummy's colouring pages? Okay, so the next page I have to show you is in Lulu Mayo's A Million Hugs and Kisses, which is a newly received book for January. I actually pre-ordered it back in October, but obviously it didn't come out until now in England. So now is when I have it. And I actually completed the last page in the book. And once again, this was done using acrylics. There's nothing shiny on this page, just plain old acrylics. And I did this the same afternoon that I got the book. So yeah, received it on the 22nd of January, coloured it on the 22nd of January. And I actually did this because, why did I do this? Well, one, because I was super hyped to just be colouring in this book, because I do love my Lulu Mayos. And two, because I believe Amanda at All J Colours was asking for tips on... No, she wasn't really asking for tips. She was asking how other people colour using acrylics. And I don't actually know how I colour using acrylics, so I kind of just did some to try and work out what it is that I do. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with the leaves on this. Of all things, like, the leaves are only a very tiny portion of the page, but I really like how I did them. I do like the capybara's swimsuit as well, and I do like capybara's fur. So yes, that is another page completed. And moving on from this to another Lulu Mayo page, this one was actually a work in progress that I decided to just finally finish. And all that I needed to do was colour in the birds, which is why it was so straightforward. Just to make it look a little bit more complete, I also coloured in the background of the heart. It's actually like really scribbly and poorly done. But I was done with this page before I even finished it. So I also added a bit of paint pen onto the ends of the flowers. So this was originally coloured in using pit pens on the plants, and then pencil and acrylics on the llamas. And once again, I accidentally removed someone's face and had to reconstruct it. Sorry, I'm just casually building a tower alongside trying to do this video. Thank you. I'm acutely aware that we are already a third of the way through February. I have so far been ill for the entirety of February, and I have not had any opportunity to be home alone for long enough to actually record a video.
I can't talk.
So I'm doing it now. Well, it's supposed to be my husband's turn to put Eddie to bed.
Tower.
Yeah, it's a big tower. But as you can probably tell, my husband is not currently in the process of putting him to bed. So he is building a tower right next to me. And it is beautiful. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't really count as a page completed for January, but it was a work in progress and it is now finished. And it can now be put away and not thought of again. And I mean, it's not bad. I could probably do the cream in the background a bit nicer. But it's fine. So that was A Million Llamas by Lulu Mayo. So next in chronological order, we have Mythographic Dragonspell by Joseph Kattenbang. And this is another one that I have joined a group buddy for. And the chosen page for January was this lantern page. So this was done with a combination of alcohol markers and then gone over with polychromos pencils. So this was done using gesso, which was the very first time I've ever used gesso. And then I coloured over the gesso with acrylic. And the idea was for this girl to be kept white, so that the world in the lantern is so saturated with light that you can't really see any of the details very clearly. So I did actually colour everything inside the lantern, but then I went over it with light yellow and white colours on the acrylics to try and fade out as much as possible. And I think it worked fairly well. I probably could have done more light radiating from it, but I'm just being overly picky, I think. The flowers were very simply done. It's just a combination of polychromos and then going over the lines with acrylic paint pen. This moss was originally done with pencil, but it looked really flat, so I went back over it with a number of different acrylic brush markers, just to give it a bit of dimension and make it look a bit better. I probably could have done more work on the trees, but it was getting very close to the end of the month and I'd already passed the 24th, which is the show date that everyone shows all of their completed pages in the Dragonspell group. And so I just wanted it done. Overall, I am quite pleased with this page. It was my first proper time using alcohol markers to base. And with how this page turned out, it's actually encouraged me to want to use alcohol markers as a base more often. I got a really big set of Ohuhus for Christmas, the 320 set. So I am looking forward to doing more pages using a combination of alcohol markers, polychromos, and acrylics, which is essentially what this was. The page that was chosen for February is in here somewhere. I believe it is this page. I haven't had much thought about what I'm going to do with this page yet, because I have a bit of a backlog on mythographic pages that I'm supposed to be doing. So we'll see if I manage to get around to doing this one or not. Okay, so after Dragonspell, the next page I did was actually once again in Millie Marotta's Animal Adventures. So the Animal Adventures project deadline was the 29th of January. And as we were getting very close to the deadline, there were some people who had not yet submitted their pages, which is fine. But they had also not communicated with the project organisers at all, which made them worry that there potentially wouldn't be a page submitted by them by the deadline. So just in case that happened, the pages for non-respondents were reassigned so that there would be a completed page still in the event that those people didn't submit. And I was one of the people that pitched in to do a last minute edition, and this was the Inkatan. And I'll admit, I'm not super fond of this page just because I didn't spend very much time or effort on it. I do like the background. The background was done with albajoras, and then I also sprayed some prism mist on it and then kind of smeared it all in. And the clouds were done with watercolours and acrylics. I did accidentally rip the page slightly, and so I glued it back down. But as it turns out, the person that was assigned this page did submit by the deadline, so my page ended up being surplus to requirements. So it was demoted to just a regular colouring page, which is fine. I already had 2 pages in the project, and like I said, I wasn't super proud of what I did with this one. I like the moustache, I like the beak, I like the background. I like what I started to do with the feathers, but I don't like how I executed this bit. I think it still looks fine. This is like the second version. Essentially, I coloured it all with albajoras, but then I decided I wasn't fond of the result, so I actually went back over the body of this bird, which is an Inkatan, with acrylics that were watered down in order to make them more blendable. And then I think I went over the acrylics again with more pencil to add back in some like line work. But yeah, on the whole, I don't think this is my best Millie page, but it was done in a hurry. And I do really like the background. It's my favourite colour, so I can't hate on it too much. And I am supposed to be trying to be more positive in my videos, so yeah. And then the final page, page number 10, which I've kind of already shown you because my son flipped to the page already, was this page. It was supposed to be done by January 9th. I did it, I haven't dated it, but I did it at the very end of January. And again, I haven't put a lot of time or effort into this because I really don't like the paper. But you can see I did use alcohol markers. Initially, he was a lot more orange than he is now. The birds, I went over most of it with acrylics. This paper really does not like acrylics, especially not acrylics that you've attempted to blend with water, and even less acrylics that you've then attempted to go over on pencil. It's very, very bad paper. It's just the Amazon print paper, and it's just such a shame because I think the book would be a lot more enjoyable if it was a bit better quality. But for what it is, which is a book that is going to last me exactly 1 year because it will be all completed by, what date is the last page? 15th. Yeah, so the last page is December 15th and December 16th. So it will be done before the end of the year, kind of. But yeah. So if we were to tally all of those up, we have page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6, page 7, page 8, page 9, and finally page 10. So yes, that was all 10 of my completed pages for January, which is by far the most pages I have ever done in a single month. The previous record belonged to November, in which I had completed 6 pages. I am not on track to match 10 pages for February. I have so far done 2. Like I said, I have been ill for all of February so far. I also have an exam in a couple of days for my work. So I'm envisioning probably closer to maybe 3 or 4 pages for February, but you know, I still have 2/3 of the month left, so we will see. So if you are still watching, thank you for sticking with me, and I hope you liked looking at my completed pages. Let me know in the comments which one was your favourite, and hopefully I will see you again in the next video. Peel, banana, peel, peel, banana, peel, banana, peel, peel, banana. Good.